Josh Thomas. Josh, where you from, man?
I'm from
Where'd
Dallas,
you?
Texas.
Oh, you grew up there?
Yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas. Grew up here, born and raised.
And so you came back home after all those years.
Yes, I came back home after all these years. It's hard to get away from your roots and your support cast.
All
So,
right.
my grandmother was really big on family and supporting family, and so, this is where we ended up. My wife and I, my little boy, he's just turned 5 yesterday, or he turns 5 tomorrow actually. So and I've got one in the oven, and she's due
Oh,
on the 26th of due on the 27th of June of this month. So
oh,
it's been good.
awesome. Well, it's okay to forget a kid's birthday, but don't forget your wife's birthday for the love of God.
Oh no, I won't. I'll get about 5 reminders before the birthday actually arrives. But yeah, I don't think I can forget.
All right. So
Yeah.
you leave Dallas, you go up to school up in were you upstate New York?
Yes, University of Buffalo.
All right. And
hmm
what did you study there?
I studied communications, and I minored in media studies.
Uh-huh.
So I did an internship with the Buffalo Bisons. Actually, they're a AAA baseball team under the New York Mets, and I worked with the PR, the public relations, and I worked with the actual media. Tech, I was actually responsible for graphics, radio, audio, and worked alongside the actual game operator, and producer of the actual New York, the New York network when they actually show the game. So it was a pretty good experience in
So
communications and media stuff.
did you catch the bug then that hey, this is definitely a career I want to focus in on within the sports industry?
Um, and man, not necessarily. I've always been a go getter, and I always wanted to know more, and so communications is more of like a fallback. It was a fallback concentration. But my passion has always been in business, and so with that, I would add that I would add you know, I've, school has just been an avenue for me to get to know more and get to connect about because I've always loved people. That's one thing that's one thing that my granny has ingrained in my heart and my brothers and sisters' hearts. Because I'm one of eight, but it's to the power of loving people. So with that, man, communications is kind of like a no-brainer because you can easily tie it into business.
Well, if you grow up with eight brothers or seven brothers and sisters, you got to communicate, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So that's
So
that's a that's a whole different podcast in and of itself. What the heck? You must have some great stories about that, but we can talk about that offline. But
sure.
listen, so talk a little bit now about your transition period and really where your focus is on your foundation and business in the real estate space. I mean, what's your thought process, and how is that kind of tied in? What are you doing in that right now?
Well, I wouldn't actually say that I'm in transition. However,
Yeah.
I am building a platform uh, and having a legacy. I'm really big on creating, innovating, and becoming a lifestyle entrepreneur. So being able to, one thing that as human beings we've created is the power of space, the power of time. You know, we are able to measure a second by the millisecond, right? By just the smallest fractions. And so understanding just time in itself, that's one thing that we'll never get back. So I would like to be able to be someone who controls my time and be able to make decisions and be able to make decisions that impact and help people. So entrepreneurship is something that's like I said, like I sold candy in high school, and when to buy my school clothes and to help my mom out with bills and to put food on the plate. And I remember my grandmother's coworker who used to drop off buckets of tamales, handmade tamales, because there was so much of us. And for me, like that gave me great appreciation that I would have breakfast for the next 2 weeks. So that's kind of that's really been my heart. And so when you say transition, I'm always where I'm at. I had one coach to say, "Be where you at." When you have an exam, in 3 hours and you're in a meeting for football, but you got to be able to focus on the current state, the now, because that now is our greatest opportunity. And so be where you at always. So I've learned to do that and execute. So in regards to the off seasons, my wife and I, we get together. We always are contemplating on what's something that we can build together. And so real estate was one thing that we want for our platform and foundation to be. And so that's where we started. And right now we're both realtors. We call ourselves the Thomas team at Keller Williams Central. And so her and I, we work together. We're a duo, and we offer 2-for-1. And we're able to also add that to our investment side of our business, where we purchase property. So that's kind of like the grand scheme of things. And ultimately, my ultimate why is to end hunger in America. That's what I'm passionate about, and that's what motivates me. That's the dopamine that gets me going out of bed, heels on the floor, and going. You know what I'm saying? Like cleats in the ground, get your foot plant, go pick off the ball, right?
Right.
So that's kind of like who I am. And when you talk about transition, I don't really believe in transition. I believe at maximizing your opportunities the now, the current state, your current being. So that's who I am, and that's where we are.
So are you guys on the commercial side, or are you buying, or are you doing like rental properties, or just a blending of all of them?
No, so we're building our capital to actually just acquire nothing but rental properties, because the ultimate goal is to basically remove yourself from the business, right? Just like with anything, when you build something, there's a book called The E-Myth, and he basically talks about the simple principle of, you have a dream, have that dream is great. When you have that you ever seen a mom and pop shop? They have a great pop store, but they're there every single day. Essentially, they started their dream, except they bought themselves another child. They can't go on those vacations. They can't really trust their employees because they don't have those systems in place, right? Those models, those things that have already been done before us. When we recreate the wheel, there's a lot of errors, and there's a huge learning curve. And and so my wife and I, we actually built our business. We're in a case right now where our niche is residential. We're a residential redevelopment company, and our goal is to build capital and acquire property that are, when I say buy and hold properties, that means being able to put a tenant, rent the property out and have that property cash flow, our certain desired cap rate, a percentage for rate of return. So,
yeah, it's a great place to be. It's really a great space, especially now where the economy is.
yeah.
So you and your wife are partners in it. Is there any connection back to your foundation, and or is just your foundation? What does that support?
So my foundation is my ultimate why. So that's everything that I do is aligned to my why. I mean, and I say everything, I mean everything. So I want to be able to build a stable platform where I can acquire more time. The idea to acquire more time is when you acquire more time, you're able to remove yourself from a business that's such as you have. You sold a business with this past year, right? Or last year.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
But you were able to sell that, but now you just acquire more time and liquidate, and now you have a different platform where you removed yourself from a different sector. Or you can say that sector is it runs itself, and it has that, let's call it mailbox money, right? You're cash flowing enough to where you can walk away from that 9-to-5 job. You can walk away from whatever you're obligated, those immediate obligations, and you're able to acquire more time for your passion. My passion is to end hunger. My passion is sharing a meal and seeing that person that may be living in poverty, okay, because everybody's situation is different, but giving a meal and simply seeing their spirits lifted and seeing that hope, and giving them that encouragement that, hey, that everybody can have a choice, and everybody can have a choice by only with support. So my act of giving, is to not just give a meal, Robert, but to say, hey, this meal can give somebody hope. And not only that, but we want to permanently end hunger. So partnerships, unity, togetherness, love, and displaying that in the ultimate way. They just kind of want to be able to build that new culture. So my way of doing that is wanting to, end hunger in America. So by everything that I do, I want to be able to free up so much of my time to where I can pull corporations, independent businesses, small business, and everybody come together as a community, celebrate, and come together out of love and unity, and just be encouraging and inspirational to one another. So it's a lot bigger than just saying, hey, we want to end hunger in America. We want to feed the people. No, we really want to end hunger in America, and it's possible, because there's so much. One out of every four kids in America goes hungry every night, and one out of every five people go hungry every night. Okay, America is the most powerful country in the world. So why is there people starving? Why is Texas the number 2 hunger state? Why? Well, somebody has to ask those questions. I'm not saying that no one isn't, but we have to find a way to do it together, pull together as a unit. The great America, right? And so that's really my mission. My mission is to bring people together to end hunger and definitely give those people those resources to grow towards their passion, what they love and what they want to do, their aspirations. So, I get really passionate about that because I really mean that, and I play football. I always play football because I've wanted to give back in a great way. And, sometimes things happen, your goals may change, but that's the beauty about goals. Goals are flexible and you're able to, navigate and do what you can and figure out a solution, for the equation that you currently have. Whether that may be I'm in school, I don't know what I want to do. Well, you know what? You don't know what you can make some time to go see a counselor, something as simple as that. Take some assessment tests, learn more about yourself. Do some yoga. I don't know. That's always been me, and I thank my grandmother, my granny. I call her granny. I thank her for that because I've learned that at a very early age, and so I've always just used football as just a channel to get myself where I want to go. Got to college, and being where you are, at the moment, maximizing your opportunities. And next thing you know, I had an opportunity to play some ball. I'm still active. Granted, one of my wheels, I got a knee that's out of service right now. But you know what? I can still walk house to house. I can still show people property. We can sell property. I've got a partner. We've been building a foundation in real estate for some time now. So, just being able to be resourceful and figure it out. And hustle hard. And I've been fortunate to be able to take the coaching I've had throughout the years, Robert, such as you have, and just be a student not just whatever you're in, but just of life. And so, because so many people have done it before us, and I just pay attention, and I just try to make sure I don't make those same mistakes or those same errors.
Well, a couple things. First of all, that was amazing what you just said about your foundation, your passion for it. I truly believe that life without purpose is you're just in existence right now. You're just taking up space for somebody else who's going to make a difference. And I think you laid out two very specific things that are in your life that are important besides your family, and that's your business and your platform. And when you're providing housing for people, there's a great service you're doing for people, right? And yeah, they're renters, but someone still has to do it. Someone still has to be
Yeah.
involved in it. Someone has to give them a great place to live. And I
Yeah.
think people lose perspective on that. Yeah, that's a business, but the core of who you are, from the very short time that we spoke, it seems like to me, and it's very evident that you are very passionate about helping people. Your foundation. I mean, I could listen to you for another 10 minutes talk about it because I get it. I understand where you're coming from. There's a light switch that goes off, I think, in everybody's life at some point, and realizes that it's just not about you anymore. It's about other people.
All
And if
right.
you're in a position to help, the world helps you back. And that
Yes.
helps you back
Yes.
with things. Yeah, right. The universe will help you back again.
The
And
universe. I love
I
that.
think,
Yes.
yeah, the universe helps you, and
Heck
if your
yeah.
core reason, yeah, your core reason is for helping. I mean, yeah, you use football as a platform. A lot of us did for a very short period of time of our life when we look back on it. But the things that we learned along the way really helped us prepare. But the thing that I really love about your story is that you just didn't start this last year. I mean, this is who you are, right? Even back
Yes.
in college, of just getting involved, interning when as a college athlete, you have no time, zero time, right? And even more so now, as a professional athlete in your career there, that's even less on top of that. But if you didn't start this back when you were 19, 18, 19, 20 years old, would never have prepared you for where you are right now. And
I
I
agree.
think that's very admirable. And you're a special guy. And Granny raised a good one. Granny and Mom raised a good one there, Josh.
Yeah, they did.
So so a couple things before I forget, but I want you to tell people if they wanted to help your foundation through any type of crowdfunding or any kind of resources or help or collaboration, how do they do that? Where do they find that foundation?
Yes, where you can type in Google Breathe Boldness Foundation. You can Google it. I'm on LinkedIn. I've gotten on LinkedIn lately within the past month and a half, and I've been taking a lot of massive action on LinkedIn. You
Hmm.
can go to Facebook, and you can type in uh, Josh Thomas Cowboys, and there's articles uh, of about my foundation. But at the end of the day, it's not my foundation. I want it to be America's foundation, and so this is still on the ground. And I unfortunately I've had some roadblocks, Robert, and just learning, and
Hmm.
I've pocket a lot of money to fund my own foundation. I
Hmm.
didn't know that there's a such thing as grant writers. I didn't know that
Hmm.
my business plan didn't have to be 30 pages. And I didn't know those things. But
Right.
just this past week, I've sat with some people who are very insightful and just want to be genuine and help. Because a lot of times,
Hmm.
as a professional athlete,
Hmm.
people tend to sometimes only see dollar signs,
Hmm.
may not necessarily get the people who are genuine, or let's not say that they're not genuine, but they have a hidden agenda. So
Hmm.
I've had some growing pains, and I also, when I took this on, I knew that there's going to be a lot of no's, and I knew this was going to be a lot of downfalls. If you want to really if you really want to make a change, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to fail often. You have to be willing to fail fast. And so with that, you can type in Google Breathe Boldness Foundation, Josh Thomas. You can type in Dallas Cowboys wants to feed 100 million people. I've just changed my mission. I want to only feed 100 million people. That's just a benchmark. We want to surpass feeding 100 million people, but to permanently end hunger in America. So what's going to happen from that? It's going to be a snowball effect. All right, to change the human culture. Change the human culture. We're going to start in America, and we're going to do that by love. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it by unity, because we're all cut
Hmm.
from the same fabric. We're all people at the end of the day.
Hmm.
And when you see somebody, they may have a sign on the side of the road. We don't know their story, but it's in our hearts to connect. It's in our hearts to help and want to lift one another up. So, Breathe Wellness Foundation, if you would like to be a sponsor, if you would like to just be able to provide a donation or connect me with someone who's an expert.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm a student, I'm a learner, and I just really
Hmm.
want it so badly, and I'm willing to go the distance to cultivate that power team that put ourselves in front of other corporations and other businesses that have that same power and influence, all right, to bring more together. So that's where you can find the foundation, Breathe Boldness Foundation. Okay.
Well, I have your picture up with Breathe Boldness Foundation underneath underneath
Cool.
your photo. So and this is going to be posted to YouTube and on my website, so they'll be able to see that as they're listening to this. But what I can tell you in that space, you may want to look at some corporate partners that already have the resources and they have collaboration partners out there that could
Yes.
help you scale that. So, down in Dallas, you got Dr. Pepper, you got Fritos, and you got some other bigger companies down there that if they know what you're doing, and hopefully somebody that works for them, a brand manager, somebody
Yes,
in the
sir.
activation side is listening to this and will reach out to you for that reason. But I think that's an easier and a quicker way for you to scale is by utilizing the resources of some of these other organizations that are much broader that need the local
Yes, sir.
activation piece that you have as well. So hopefully that
Yes,
will
sir.
be a piece of it. But
Thank you.
so
Thank you so much.
all right, yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
know because I hear some of the things that you're saying as far as massive action and all that. And I know if you haven't watched them yet, watch Grant Cardone, watch Gary Vanderchuck. Those guys are masters at what you're trying to do and where you want to go. So look up those guys as well on the
Dude,
internet.
the 10X. The 10X. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jab,
it's the
jab, punch.
best.
Dude, I
Yeah,
study those guys, and I'm also a big fan of Tony Robbins as well. Those are
yeah,
three role models of mine that I study, and like I said, I'm a student, man. I just really try to find information, and my best friends and mentors right now are books. You know,
yeah.
I know that
Good.
may sound a little bit raw, but I mean that's the naked truth, and
Yeah.
it's just been quite the journey of just having to filter people go, because you meet a lot of people, and like I said, it's just it's been a difficult road, but I see the light, I see the way, and so I've gotten a lot of my growth from those books. Actually, appreciate you
Yeah.
definitely sharing that, kind of confirming that too, because kind of confirming that too. That's what's up.
They're just authentic guys in that space. I know Grant is a master in the real estate game, and Gary is definitely he's way out of no one's even close to him as far as digital social media.
I
Just
know.
the psychology of an entrepreneur. So those are two,
Yeah.
and Tony, the tie in those three together are fantastic, and I think it just applies to everybody who's just in business in life. And I know Grant Cardone talks a lot about we all have an obligation, to be, successful in life, and all of us do at whatever job or career or anything we're doing. And
Right.
he's so right about that, and,
Yeah.
so you can learn a lot from other people, right? And I'm glad you said that because I've been doing this, I'm an old guy and I'm still learning and I'm still fascinated and I'm still just interested in people and their stories. And, Josh,
Yeah.
you got a good one, buddy. You got so much ahead of you and such a great future and you get it, and you don't assume anything. It just seems like, you have a really good understanding of who you are. And I think you shared that with everybody today. And the purpose of this is how I feel about it is giving you that next step in what you want to do in your career. And hopefully people who are listening will reach out to you and help you as well as I did today. And now it's on to you because you've helped so many other people along the way to keep on helping others. And the universe comes back to you, man. It comes back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
So, all right. So what's next for you after this? I mean, do you, what's your, are you playing next year? Are you done? You retired from playing? Are you still going or?
So right now I had a life accident, and when I say life accident, sometimes life happens, right?
Yeah.
And when you sign that contract, as for my primary work as a professional athlete through National Football League, because I may have some listeners that may be international, right? That's why I say
Yep.
that. But when you sign that contract, you know the risk. You know there's possibilities of getting injured, and I've never played a game without being injured. All right, so whether
Yep.
it may be a tweaked hamstring or a strained groin or whatever the case, um, you know, our bodies are our temple. Our bodies are are what compensate or what brings that compensation. So getting to the point of life, life is greater than the game of football. And so when I got in a car accident. I'm actually leaving work, because I had a surgery. The Cowboys put me on injury reserve this past season, and I was 3 days before me returning. I had a life accident, I had a life realization. Woke up and unconscious, and I was in the back of a truck. My car, my cargo van that I totaled was going to be my marketing tool that I was going to get wrapped and just really promote, the Breathe Boldness Foundation and go after your passion. And to wake up to that and to see how, my van crushed and, going off into the ambulance and then getting to the actual hospital and having to tell my PT, my physical therapist that, hey, I just got in an accident, and she having to relay that message over to the Cowboys organization, and then my agent called me like, hey, they're going to be removing you from the payroll now. You're not on injury reserve anymore. You're on the non-football related injury list. Okay, so remove you from the payroll, and just like, man, this life coming at you so many different ways, and on top of that, you're sitting in the hospital with your knee open, right? You're the doctor that's going to do the work in your knee. You want to make sure that he's also qualified and that he does the knee surgery right, because time, going back again on time, because time is the most valuable thing that we have. So getting the okay from our organization's doctor that they can go ahead and proceed with the surgery. They sealed me up because I had so much swelling, Robert, and they said, but you'll be good by January. Come time January, swelling did go down, and getting back into the gym, getting ready to get my body back ready, getting that strength back to get ready for the upcoming camps. Well, then I realized that I had some pains in my knee, and so they just had to go back into my knee and have another surgery with a great doctor here at Carroll Clinic in Dallas named Dr. Cooper. He did a phenomenal job April 11th. And, I just got off crutches last week. And so as of right now, I'm not retired. I'm still active. I'm a free agent. And, I'm going to be missing all of this 2017 season. But, in 2018, when that time comes, when I'm back at my elite self, when opportunities come, we get those calls, we'll be able to weigh those options if we do want to proceed forward with my football career. However, right now, my passion is real estate. My passion is wanting to build that platform to create more time, become that serial entrepreneur to where I can create jobs, help people, fund my foundation, right? Give it that time and that nurture that it needs. So that's where we are right now. We're just at that state of we're loading. We're loading for the next season. And so I'm not retired, and I'm a free agent as we speak, and I'm just on the grind, getting my physical therapy and getting ready to rev myself back to get to where I was physically, So that's where we are for 2017 as of right now.
All right, good. Hey, man, well, up to this point, life happens sometimes. Like you said, it was a life accident, and you got thrown a little curveball on that one, but just let someone else drive the van next time. That's all.
I know. Hey Robert, I was learning. My van didn't have a rear view mirror, so I was learning those side view mirrors, and so it's kind of hard sometimes when you're changing lanes and you're trying to make sure you're not cutting anybody off. But
gee whiz.
it happens. Well, life happens, man.
Life happens, but you got everything else set up and you guys are raring to go, and sounds like you got a great family. You got one coming on the way, and you're just going to keep on pushing forward, and we're all going to be rooting for you, Josh. And I know I'm glad I met you, and there's anything else I could do to help you out, I'm always here, whether you got an idea that you want to bounce by me or whatever you want me to help you network with somebody else in the industry, I'm happy to do it. And I'm just glad that our worlds came together. So I'm rooting for you, man. It was really nice talking to you, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to myself and hopefully the thousands of listeners out there that are getting a little bit more and knowing who you are and knowing your story and inspired by what you have told us today. So I appreciate everything that in your time, because I know it's valuable. So best of luck to you, Josh, man. And I'm certainly here for you.
Thanks, man. Keep up the great work, Robert.
I appreciate it. All the best, Josh.
All right now. Thanks.
See ya. Bye.